I was also told that the pill form of chemo was, quote, it's the good kind of chemo. And if there was one opportunity for improvement to my doctors, I would say, hey, dudes, there is really no good kind of chemo, except the kind, I guess, if it keeps you alive and gets rid of cancer, then it's a good kind. But I would always envision, I would always say, there's some 90-year-old grandma out there who's got the bad kind of chemo with a port and super strong, and she's toughing it out. So I better tighten up and handle this. My side effects were not pleasant, and I was certainly glad to have them done, because if I had the good kind of chemo, I just empathize with the people that aren't that lucky that have to have the bad kind of chemo, because my quote unquote good kind was not super pleasant. At the same time, it wasn't completely debilitating. Yeah, I didn't feel well. Yeah, there were days that I really just wanted my mom to like come to town and like make me chicken soup or something and like rub my back. But the side effects were never debilitating. I felt like vomiting many times. I never did. So it wasn't that type of story where I've heard so many stories. The kind of chemo I had also did not make me lose my hair, where I had always envisioned, when I talk about chemo, like the chemo patient in a wheelchair with no hair, with an IV that I see so many times. I'm in the cancer centers for follow-ups now. That was never my experience. I lost my hair only from the radiation therapy. And, I would say like, hey, I hear chicks dig scars and stuff. So if you can see my scar, like, awesome. Cause I'm single. Hello, ladies. And yeah, so I had the good kind. I don't know about the other kinds, but I could say that the Temodar was bearable, right? It was certainly manageable. And then on top of that, when you know that it's doing good things, it makes it even better, because I'm all about mantras and positive affirmations. And so my mantra every time I took chemo, every morning, every night, and any other time was, my body is responding perfectly to treatment. I will emerge healthier, happier, and more empowered to do great things. Then I would take my chemo. And I videoed that. I even put that up on my blog, of a video of me doing that. And that was my way of welcoming that chemo into my body, knowing that this is my body responding perfectly to treatment. It was also a way that I manage my anxiety. I call these judge-free affirmations, because I could sit there and say, yeah, well, I might, in the middle of chemo treatment, oh, my stomach feels great, my stomach feels great, my stomach feels great. And you're like, well, no, it actually doesn't feel great. So instead of that, I would say, my body is responding perfectly to treatment. And what that told me in my mind was, however I'm feeling right now is how my body feels when it's responding perfectly to treatment. So that helped me manage that wandering mind of, well, damn, I feel like this time. I didn't feel like that last month, but this month my stomach feels like this, or next month my stomach feels like that. Instead, I would just say, hey, get that out of here. My body is responding perfectly to treatment. Side note, I used the same technique when I was healing from surgery. My body is healing perfectly. However I was feeling, I would be able to manage that anxiety better by knowing, no, my body is responding perfectly. My body is healing perfectly. And I will tell you that even this morning, when my girlfriend burned her arm really bad last week in the oven, she's saying, well, babe, what does this look bad? And I say, well, it looks like it's healing perfectly. And she says, you're right. It is healing perfectly, because I don't know if it's healing perfectly, but I'm going to know that it's healing perfectly. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you if that scar is supposed to look like that today or not, but I know that it's going to heal perfectly. And that immediately made her smile. So that's something that is cancer related, but also life related, that we can let our minds spin down whatever lane we want to. But shit, if we can control it, we might as well control it.